are better, and we head back that direction now to join BYU basketball assistant coach Quincy Lewis, preparing for BYU and Princeton tonight. Coach, glad to have you back on the show.
Hey, good to be here.
Apparently, you're a man who only joins us when you're in New York or New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I guess, didn't we hook up with the Madison Square Garden a few years ago?
Yes,
Yep.
And that's still your only tweet, which is kind of cool for us, I guess. Could we get
I really care about you guys.
Yeah, I know. I misheard you. I thought you said you didn't care about. Could we get a second tweet from Jadwin Gymnasium maybe later today? Is that asking too much?
That's a pretty tall order, seeing how the tweets are few and far between. I'll have to think about that one.
Okay. We just wanted to put it on your radar. We'll let you stew on that
agenda.
one. Coach, how different is Princeton this year versus the team that you beat in last year's regular season opener?
That's actually quite a bit different. They do return 3 players that were key guys for them last year on a team that really was one shot away from beating Notre Dame in the NCAA tournament. But when we played them early in the year, one of those kids who wound up being really good for him last year, Stevens' kid, didn't play a lot, and they had a couple injuries early in the year after they had played us, and he got his chance and really kind of blossomed as a player. And so they're a little bit different. They still run what you would call your traditional Princeton offense, but now they've kind of incorporated a little bit more isolation with it.
This Tigers team is a team that won a lot last year. They won the Ivy League regular season championship, as you mentioned, and an NCAA tournament team, a good club. Who's more different, like you mentioned, Princeton or BYU?
That's a good question. I mean, we've obviously had some changes too. We've lost a couple good kids, but we've also picked up some good players. And I don't know. I think both of us have made significant changes since that early game in November last year.
What type of game flow do you expect tonight? Because Princeton is largely associated with the Princeton offense, but this team is not going to run anything close to that. So what kind of pace do you expect?
They will play a little bit faster than what people would think. When they had Pete Carrill and some of the great coaches they've had, and they have another really good coach right now, they were more of a knit one, pearl two type team. But they'll get out in transition right now. They have some really some dynamic players, and from our standpoint, we're not maybe playing quite as fast as we have in the past, so it could be similar.
Is what you guys are trying to do with the differences schematically on offense and defense that you've seen so far? Is it? I mean, we're seeing that it's working in the box score and whatnot, but from your perspective of where you guys want to execute at, is it working to the level you're hoping or close?
To this point, we like where we're at, and I think you alluded to this is our first significant test that we've had, and it will be a good one. I mean, these guys are good. But we think that what we've changed offensively and defensively is going to make a difference, not just now, but hopefully when we roll around to the end of February.
All right. Elijah Bryant has gotten off to a red-hot start. In fact, 10 for 11, shooting roughly 90% in his opening performance. Do you expect Eli to miss more than one shot tonight?
Yeah, the kid, he's going to miss a few shots. But, what's great about Eli is how far he's come. I mean, the kid was hurt. He's playing on one leg for a lot of last year, and I don't think a lot of people really got to see what he really was. We saw him as, in his redshirt year and what he could really do, and it's just fun to see him have come full circle here.
Let's take a moment to talk about two guys you signed and announced last week with signing day. First, Hunter Erickson, a guard from Timpview, first-team All-State guy. He's going to go on a mission first, but what can you tell us about Hunter Erickson?
We're really excited about Hunter. He's really athletic, shoots it very well, had a great year at Timpview last year, and then had a very, very good summer this last year. And maybe the thing that I've really liked about Hunter, and when I was at Lone Peak, I knew who Hunter was because we would compete against them all the time, is how he's improved every year. And sometimes you don't see that. Sometimes you see a kid who's really good early, and then maybe they don't put the time in, or kids just catch them physically, and they just don't take those steps. and they never maybe improve from sophomore to junior to senior year. But the thing that's exciting about him, to me, is that each year he seems to really taken a step, and none bigger than this last year. And I think he'll continue to get better.
Now, the second signee is Trevin Nell, 6'5" guard from Woods Cross High School, which is just about an hour north of Provo. First-team All-State guy, the number 2 recruit in the state of Utah in 2017. He is going to enroll in the fall of 2019 after his LDS mission to Uruguay. So what do you like about Trevin Nell and what he's going to bring to BYU in a couple of years?
Yeah, Trev is he's a big-time shooter. He is a big-time shooter, Trev is. And maybe the thing I like the very best about him is sometimes you get guys who are just volume shooters. They're going to score 27, 28 points a game, but it's going to take them a lot to get there. But Trevin is a consistent shooter, game in, game out, practice. I mean, every time you watch this kid, he makes shots. And I think that's the number one thing that you're getting with him, along with, he's 6'5", so he's a little bit bigger guard.
Quincy, we've been talking earlier in the show kind of about hype. Do you embrace it? Do you just want to see things play out and whatnot? And obviously some seasons go better than others. Some go according to plan. Some don't go according to plan. How has this team kind of embraced it's been kind of quiet and you've just been able to kind of put your head down and work in this offseason as opposed to maybe last year?
It's been kind of nice, but as a staff, what you try to do is you focus on what you're doing day to day. And you try to get better each day, and certainly your players and staff for that matter are gonna catch a little bit of all that. But you really just have to focus on what you're doing.
Quincy, it's great to talk to you. We'll see if the second tweet comes out or not. Maybe if BYU wins, that would inspire you to do so. But I don't know. We'll leave the ball in your court.
Hey, Spencer, you inspire me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Quincy, great to talk to you, man.
I might get one out a year. Okay. It'll be a big surprise.
Okay. Hey, we have no expectations, so you
yeah, the
will
hype is
exceed
low.
them. No
hype is low.
Quincy, have a great game tonight.
All right.